can see right here, guys, this is the Mavic Air 2. We're going to tear this down because this little camera took a big hit. I want to show you this. This is clearly the broken piece right here, guys. And you can see right there that it broke here and half of that. And when it fell, it also deformed the body right here. You guys can see that. Alright guys, here we are. Mavic Air 2 crashed, broke this gimbal right here, and now the camera doesn't initialize. This cap flew completely out, and it was glued, and now the camera's not working. So we're going to take this apart. You're going to need a Allen wrench, a 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench to get these screws out. There's 6 screws you're going to need to take out. It's awful nice to have a little tool set like this. I will put the link below with this tool set. If you guys don't see the link, just hit the show more button and it'll just pop up on the link. Like I said, once again, we're taking these hex screws out, also known as Allen screws, and they're 1. Okay, so now what you see here, DJI put some glue on this one screw here to kind of secure it. It lets them know that you actually opened up the drone. So what you see here is the 2 cameras, the LED, and the TOF sensors cover being removed. And what I use is this rechargeable LED eyeglasses, and it comes with 6 different magnifications and an LED on it, and I mean, it's so useful. I'll put the link below to the glasses. Very useful to doing this kind of work, guys. If you don't see the links, hit the show more button, and the link should appear. Make sure you keep your glasses nice and clean, because you're going to be doing some very minute work. You want to make sure you don't miss anything. Okay, you see the LED being turned on right there. And now it's time to operate on this camera and reseat the cables. It's got this little bulkhead you can take off to give you access to the cables a little better. And you see right there is held together by 4 little alignment pins. Here's the cables. Make sure you use a non-metal pry to get the cables loose. Right here, you see that? Okay, and the strategy is to reseat the cables and then power on the drone to see if it fixes the issue. Double checking all the mechanical functions that the gimbal makes sure it's fine. You can see me now reseating the cables, and be very patient here. It's definitely a test of patience. So be careful, get it lined up right, and then press firmly down and they'll snap into place. So we're almost ready to power on the drone again to see if the camera initializes correctly and is recognized by the printed circuit boards that you're looking at right there. Off, you ready? Hey. Tap and hold. Unfortunately, no luck. Camera should go now. No. So unfortunately the camera is not initializing, so the communication back and forth is not there, and so it's probably not going to get recognized at all by the flight controller or the camera controller or whatever they use in DJI land. So it looks like we're going to need a new gimbal and a camera. Alright, just thought I'd show you guys how to do that. See if I can take the camera off so you guys can see, okay? That's the next step. Okay, so to take off the gimbal, you're going to need a T5 little driver. You can see right there, there's that T5, and there's the axis that I'm getting to right there. Yep. So add a little bit of an angle where you take it off. You can see that. It comes off very easily. And after that, you can take off the 4 additional hex screws. They're 1.5 millimeter hex screws. Okay, and this is the T5 screw. Trying to get the camera focus. There it is. You can see it's a T5. Very small. Again, that little screwdriver driver set is perfect for this kind of work. Time to take off the 4 additional 1.5 millimeter hex screws. Easy to do. And there we are. Now it's time to get the camera out. Again, let's take the cables off by prying them off with something that is not metal. And here's the camera. I'm going to inspect it closely with my glasses. And I'm looking at the cables. I'm looking at all the dampeners, those little gummy dampeners there. And I see that there's another cable underneath this little clip here. And you take this little clip off, it'll give you access to another cable that you can reseat. Make sure it's seated correctly. I doubt it if it came loose, but you never know with the impact or what it did. It's a lot of momentum shifting when things hit the ground. And there's that cable. I'm pressing it down to make sure it's seated correctly, and there's that little retaining clip to make sure the cable doesn't come loose. What I'm showing you here is how the cables are similar. Testing the camera, and you can see this is where the camera gimbal broke right there, complete, like, oh gosh, probably 180 degrees of that gimbal housing completely broke. So now it's time to inspect the cable inside the camera. So there's a cable that attaches to the sensor circuit board in the back, and you're going to need to take off 2 screws, and they're Phillips screws or cross screws that are 00. Again, that toolkit makes it easier to find all your tools at a fingertips away. What you're seeing here is this blue grease that allows heat to transfer from the printed circuit board to the heat sink on the back of the camera. So we definitely don't want those printed circuit boards getting too hot, or the camera will overheat. Now you see me testing to make sure that cable's seated correctly, and it looks like it. And there's a motor right there on the left side. And that seems to be okay. So now carefully put everything back, since I'm happy that everything looks okay. And it's time to put those little screws back in. Once again, they're 00 Phillips screws or cross screws. There we are. Yeah, the camera's pretty bad shape. The gimbal is in pretty bad shape, but now it's time to put that little retaining clip back in, and just be careful and just push it down firmly. Okay, you hear it snap into place. And you can see how the camera gimbal broke right there at that intersection. I'll give you a little close-up view of where it's broken. You can see that it snapped completely off from there to there. And that's the housing that controls the roll motor. Yep. Okay, so now it's time to put all the screws back into the gimbal, back into the aircraft, to do that final test to see if any of what we just did actually fixed the issue. To see if we can get that camera to be recognized by the rest of the controller here, which is, I'm not sure what DJI calls it, but it's probably flight controller all built into one board. That's what it looks like. Camera controller, CPU, and flight controller, everything put together. Time to put the little cables back. Being careful again. It all looks good. And I am going to test right now to make sure it works. Unfortunately, it did not go well. my friend is going to have to replace his whole camera. It's going to cost him about $280, probably including shipping. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you find this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you like the contents of the channel as usual, smash that subscribe button, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.